Hi, my name is Dave Christie. I am the CEO and President of Orford Mining. Orford Mining is a nickel and gold explorer in northern Quebec. We control 1,400 square kilometers of land. We have three key project areas. The West Raglan Nickel Project, very high-grade nickel project, 60 kilometers west of the Raglan Nickel Mine, which is a high-grade nickel mine in northern Quebec. Then we have the Giga Gold Project. This is a brand new gold district in northern Quebec, sitting just north of the West Raglan Project. And we've got high-grade gold across the entire project. Very early days there. We believe we're on the cusp of discovery there. And then we have the Gitel projects. These are projects in the middle of the Abitibi, right next door to Agnico Eagle's original gold mine, the Eagle Telbel. And we are currently drilling there to define a near-surface resource at the South Gold Zone on our Gitel Eagle project. We trade under the symbol ORM. We have a major shareholder in Alamos Gold. Giga Metals is earning into our nickel project. And if you need any other information, please look at our website, orfordmining.com.
Hi, I'm David Antaflory, CEO of VRIC Gold Corp here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. Great to be here and great turnout. Lots of energy this year. Nice to see some good interest in the sector. Very excited to give you a little bit of an update. We had a tremendous exploration season last year in the field. We set out to have a very focused, impactful program, doing more work on our Ryan Surprise Zone just to the west of our flagship Gold Saddle deposit. We've really shown that that's expanded in all directions, and we'll be updating our resource to do that in. Going into this, we're close to 1.8 million ounces in all categories. We're going to get a material bump there, so really excited to have that kind of size and grade in a company like this. It's a great accomplishment. What's even more exciting is we're just scratching the surface on what we have, which is a true district scale land package in an area that's seen major discoveries and major investments by significantly large mining companies. Newmont is just to the south of us. They're advancing their coffee project. That's a project that was also discovered by our co-founder, John Ryan. A lot going on. Highland Copper is advancing their massive porphyry project. Rio Tinto's invested in them. So we're really encouraged to see all these major mining companies that are coming to the district. Obviously, thrilled to be part of that with Agnico and Kinross being invested in ourselves. So what we have, which I think makes this company so unique, is we're in a great jurisdiction. We have a great land package. We have a deposit. We have a huge blue sky grassroots exploration portfolio. We've been tremendously successful in the last couple of years with making new discoveries. One of those in particular is our Betty property. It's contiguous to Newmont's coffee deposit, right on the same fault system. We had a huge discovery hole in our maiden diamond drill program 2 years ago, where we drilled 50 meters of 3.5 grams. That's one of the better holes ever in the district. This year we followed that up 9 grams of 18 meters. This thing remains wide open. We're excited. It's on that same fault system as these other great deposits. We're in the right place, the right time, the right partners. I think this is a very special company, and really excited for what we're going to be doing this year to follow up and create more value for shareholders.
Hi, I'm John Black. I'm the CEO of Regulus Resources. We're here at the VRIC conference in Vancouver. It's outstanding to see so many people out. There's a lot of energy and a lot of people returning to the market, so it's a fantastic time to be here. Our company specializes in identifying large copper-gold deposits, and we have a very exciting project in northern Peru called the Antaflory Copper-Gold Project. It's a project that has a large copper-gold resource already in hand. We have about 250 million tons of indicated mineralization and slightly less than a 0.5 copper grade with nearly 1/3 of a gram of gold, and over 267 million tons of a slightly lower grade than that. So combined, over 500 million tons of quite exciting grade gold and copper mineralization. And importantly, we're in a brownfield setting. Our portion of the mineralization is part of a larger deposit that extends onto our neighbor's ground, where they're currently mining the oxide cap and effectively pre-stripping the overall project, which is partially on our ground, partially on their ground, which presents an outstanding opportunity for a project like this to become a mine in the very near future. We have the interest of many of the major mining companies watching us, and we're very pleased to report that just in the past few days, we've completed a financing with Newton, a division of Rio Tinto. They've made a large investment into our company, which provides us with the funds we need to continue to advance the project. and they will work collaboratively with us to evaluate the project and perhaps someday take a greater interest in the project as we move forward.
Hi, Mal Kadbowska, VP Corporate Development and Investor Relations for Newcore Gold. Newcore is a publicly listed company. We trade on the TSXV, ticker NCAU. Our market cap is roughly Canadian 35 million. One of our key standouts about Newcore Gold is the team. It is a management and board with a track record in this industry and one that is strongly aligned with its shareholders. Management and board own 24% of the equity of the company. Alongside management, we have a very strong shareholder base, approximately 40% institutionally held. Our key shareholders include Franklin Templeton, Ruffer, SSI, Merck, and Earth Resources. I think you'll be hard-pressed to find another junior with a 30 million market cap that has a management and board that is so strongly aligned with its shareholders, as well as strong institutional ownership. In addition to that, we have 4 brokers that currently cover the company, so very strong capital market support. We are advancing our Enchi Gold project. It is a district-scale project in the southwest of Ghana. Ghana is Africa's largest gold producer and has a very long, stable history of gold mining. Enchi sits along the Sefi-Bibiani Gold Belt, which hosts several multi-million ounce mines, including to the north of us, the Chirano and Bibiani mine complex with a gold endowment of over 10 million ounces, and then to the north of that, Newmont's Ahafo mine, which has an endowment of over 20 million ounces and growing. Enchi Gold is underpinned by fundamentals. We released an updated PEA in mid-2021 that highlighted the potential for an open pit heap leach gold mine. That being said, what we have been focused on the last 2.5 years has been showing the size and scale potential of our project. With over 90,000 meters of drilling completed in the last 2.5 years, we believe that we are on track to highlight another multi-million ounce gold project along a significant belt in Ghana. If you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Lots coming up this quarter with a resource update in the next few weeks, as well as additional drill results. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Link, and I'm the President and CEO of Giga Gold. I'm here today at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, or VRIC, hosted by my good friend Jay Martin. What a fantastic show it is this year. I was here in May. I swore I saw a tumbleweed roll down the aisles. Today it is a live, boisterous place. Last year the paddle rooms are packed, but now it's spilled out all over across the entire conference. And for us at Giga, it's been a really great opportunity to meet with old investors and new investors to talk about our recent results from the drill program, what's coming in the near term, and our plans for the rest of the year. Last week we reported our first set of drill results from the Fontana project, where we had a headline results of 9 meters, grading 8.75 grams per ton. Just a fantastic result. We're going to have more assays reported in the next week or so, just for that news flow to continue as we finish our 11,000 meter, 67 hole drill program, which we anticipate to result in a mineral resource estimate near the end of the second quarter of this year, which is really 4 or 5 months away. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, my name is Barry O'Shea. I'm the CFO of Highland Copper, a developer in the US. I think of most significance for investors is our location in the US, where domestic copper supply is of critical importance for resource independence in the US. Probably most important from a corporate perspective is the scale of our resource. We have 8.6 billion pounds of copper in the ground, well defined, with 60% of that in M&I. And the resource sits across 2 assets in Michigan, Copperwood and White Pine North, a past producer. And we're looking at a combined scenario for those 2 assets, which we think can produce 75,000 pounds of copper per year for in excess of 20 years, a pretty significant scale. We also have significant financial backing from some fantastic mining funds who have really supported us over the past number of years: Osisko, Orion, Condire, and Greenstone. But possibly most important is our license to operate in the US. I mentioned the importance from a federal perspective of critical minerals, particularly copper, but also for Michigan, where they're prioritizing industry that supports electrification and also companies that bring jobs back to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So when we put that together with our financial backing, the scale of our resource, we think there's a viable path to a fully permitted status within 2 years, which we think really puts us a considerable step ahead of our peers. And overall, I think investors need to think about something binary, whether or not a company truly can move from development into production. When you look at the key factors for Highland Copper, we think we put ourselves in good standing.
Good afternoon. Paul Robinson here from VRIC. I'm the Vice President of Exploration of Gold Island, and I'm just going to give you all an update on what we've been up to over the last year. So we've just finished our first field season in Newfoundland. We started off with a huge land package that was staked 1.5 years ago by Sean Ryan, and we had 7 projects, all based on different geological criteria, and we've spent 1.5 years now whittling that down to the really interesting bits. At the end of the year, what I can tell you is that we've got now 3 projects that we're really interested in, and they are Hamden and Mings Bight and Notre Dame. Now, these 3 projects, we're going to be spending the next season trying to get those drill ready. We've at Notre Dame, we've done a combination of soil sampling and prospecting and channel sampling, and we've zeroed in on 3 gold-bearing zones that are going to develop into our drill targets in that area. At Hamden, we've looked at the government geophysics, and we're planning on doing some more geophysics to help us zero in on the correct structures. The Cabot Fault and the Deuces Valley Fault go through this ground, and we've got rather interesting soil sampling and till sampling in that area. Some of our till samples have pristine gold grains in, and so we're hoping that those have led us to some fairly localized gold anomalism that we can develop into drill targets, hopefully by the end of the year. And then we've got Mings Bight, which we're going to be getting out and looking at more in the early part of 2023. We've got a soil sampling program complete there, and we're relying also on historical data from Noranda. And I think that just about covers us for where we've been, where we're going to. We've got soil sampling and till sampling programs planned for all of these projects, and we've got a drone mag campaign planned for Hamden and for Notre Dame this year. So plenty going on, and we aim by the end of this year to be able to announce our drill targets either through our own properties or through other people on the island that we can talk to who have interesting ground as well. So that's where we are.
I'm Mark Jarvis, CEO of Giga Metals, and I was just asked, why should a retail investor consider buying our stock? Well, I'm not an investment advisor, but I can tell you that we are by far the most undervalued of the Canadian extremely large sulfide nickel deposits. And we do have a path forward financially to develop this giant deposit that we have. We've got about 1.5 billion tons in the measured and indicated category at an average grade of 0.22% nickel. And that's a low grade, but we've done lots of economic studies on this, and the recoveries are extremely good for a deposit of this type. We make a beautiful concentrate that is an extremely marketable product. So essentially, it's a project that at the very low end of nickel prices wouldn't get developed. But at current pricing, the economics get very robust. And so we've managed to attract a significant partner in Mitsubishi Corp, who bought a 15% interest in the project for $8 million. And along with them, we are currently working on a pre-feasibility study, which we expect out in June. All of these events, combined with what I think is going to be a very robust year for commodities in 2023, mean that I think 2023 is going to be a very, very good year for us. So stay tuned and put on your seatbelts.
I'm Dan Milton, the CEO of First Mining Gold. First Mining is developing a couple of significant projects in Canada. So our first and most advanced project is Spring Pole, 5 million ounce gold project located about 100 kilometers east of Red Lake, Ontario. We're advanced in the environmental assessment process and aiming to submit a final environmental assessment report in 2024. And the other project that we're advancing is the Duparquet project, which we recently consolidated. Duparquet is a 5 million ounce gold project located in the heart of the Abitibi Greenstone Belt on the Porcupine-Destor Fault, about 30 kilometers from Rouyn-Noranda. So very catalyst heavy year coming up with First Mining, advancing Spring Pole through the environmental assessment, ongoing work through the EA and the permitting process, and advancing through the feasibility study process, and starting for the first time in years regional exploration around Spring Pole to really demonstrate the value of the 70,000 hectare exploration package that we have in the Bertucci Greenstone Belt. And at Duparquet, starting environmental baseline work, moving into a preliminary economic assessment of the project this year to define project scope and economics, and also starting a robust exploration program at Duparquet to demonstrate that we really are putting together a district scale opportunity in the heart of the Abitibi Gold. Some very exciting times coming at First Mining.
Hi, I'm Brandon McDonald, CEO of Highland Metals. I'm here today at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference in uncharacteristically sunny Vancouver, British Columbia. It's been a big year for us last year. We had our biggest ever drill program, our best ever intersection of our zinc project. We raised $35 million, 20 million of which came from the Lundin family, so massive endorsement for the company. We also had the Mactung Tungsten project, one of the world's largest and highest grade undeveloped tungsten projects. So building on the addition of that project and all that extra money, we're going to 2023 to look at our gain. Once again, biggest ever drill program, possibly as big as every year previously combined. So it's going to be a huge year for us. New resource on Mactung, massive drill program on Macpass and Mactung. Huge amount of catalysts and some big endorsements. Look forward to talking to you more about it.
Hi there, my name is Pat Donnelly. I'm the president and CEO of B79 Resources. We're based in Vancouver, Canada. We're listed on the Canadian Securities Exchange with the symbol ESNR. Our flagship assets are in the state of Victoria in Australia. I only joined the company last May, and the reason I was attracted to it is because we have some of the highest grade gold assets in the world. Specifically, we're in the Fosterville area. Fosterville, which is owned by Agnico Eagle, it's one of the highest grade gold mines in the world. So we've had tremendous exploration success. Specifically, our third hole we drilled was 11 meters of 160 grams per ton gold. Since then, we've been able to follow up on that with some other very high grade holes in our Myrtleford property. We have $5 million in cash, and so we have lots of runway, relatively low exploration costs. And the nice thing is, we don't have any infrastructure challenges, and we have tremendous support from the state of Victoria and the people in the area. So anyway, we're here at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, and very good turnout, very good support from my shareholders, and hopefully near term we'll have some more news flow. So thank you very much.
So what's unique about Contango is that we'll be in operation and production next year. We'll be producing as a company 67,000 ounces of gold per year. Probably about $1,900 at the $1,900 gold price, we'll be generating about $40 million in free cash flow. That's pretty unique for a company that only has 7.2 million shares outstanding. We're under construction now, finishing up the road through the winter months, which in the summertime puts us in a place to start mining and stockpiling. By the end of the year, we should be transporting the ore up to the Fort Knox mill. And that's what's unique about our project. We're a mining company that's actually not going to build a mill and a tailings facility because we're using one that already exists. That allowed us to shortcut getting into production, and we've got a huge area of land under lease from the Tetlin tribe. It's private land owned by one of the Alaska Native tribes, which gives us a lot of exploration upside for many, many years to come. So high quality project. We're delivering 8 grams per ton to the Fort Knox mill, generating about 220,000 ounces of gold production per year. And so our 30% share is about 67,000 ounces. High quality ore, high margins, generating good cash flow in about a year from now.
My name is Spiros Takos. I'm the Vice President of Investor Relations for a company called Century Lithium. We are an advanced stage lithium company focusing on a project called the Clayton Valley Lithium Project in the state of Nevada. What makes us different than everybody else is that we are one of the largest projects in Clayton Valley, and we are one of 3 advanced stage clay projects in that state. You've got Pioneer, it's got a great project called Violet Ridge, which is at a permitting stage. You've got a company called Lithium America with a project called Thacker Pass, which is at feasibility stage, but they've got their permitting already completed. And then you have us. We've got 3 feasibility study was done. We're currently working on our feasibility study, which we expect to be finished by Q2 of this year. And we'll be commencing up permitting, which is like a 12 to say 15 month process. I like to say 2 years to kind of keep it tight. But hopefully that's going to become slower. So everybody else around us, they're early stage. So we're one of the more advanced projects. And what makes clay a little bit different? Well, if you look at the booth, there's nothing around us. It's all about location, location, location. So we've got a great location, road accessible, access to power, solar, obviously, because it is Nevada. But right over the hills over here is our neighbor, which is the only neighbor that we have, which is Albemarle's Silver Peak operation, right next to us. And everything else, there's just nothing here. Nothing here. The gray stuff you see on the map, that's basically our claystone, which comes up right at surface. So what makes clay projects a little bit different is that they are at surface, goes down to about 150 meters. They're really soft, really easy to take out. Unlike brine projects that you have in Latin America, where you have using a lot of water to extract the lithium, so it's kind of frowned upon from the ESG perspective. And hard rock projects are really good, but they're high grade, and they're high grade, but they're usually need blasting or going underground to kind of take them out. So it's very cost effective. Clay projects are pretty easy, so they're inexpensive to remove, and it's just a matter of using the water we kind of evaporate it, at a lab, and that's how we extract it. So it's a very simple process. So looking forward, over the next few months, what you expect to see from Century Lithium, we'll have a feasibility study should be completed sometime in the second quarter. Will be immediately followed by our plan of operations, and that will allow us to be able to apply for various grants and loans. And at that time, our next step will be to actually produce lithium carbonate on site. So there's a lot happening right now this year. It's really exciting for the company as we take this project and move it towards production. So in the end, Century Lithium, it's the right commodity in the right jurisdiction at the right time.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Kevin B. Heather. I'm the Chief Geological Officer for Aldebaran Resources. Many of you know me as the Rock Doctor, and here we are at the VRIC conference in Vancouver. Lots of people, lots of energy. It's good to see the markets are coming back, and we're happy to be here to show off our Altar project, which is located in San Juan province in Argentina, one of the real true hotspots in the world for copper exploration these days. Very pro-mining jurisdiction, and we've got a very exciting project here. We already have a very large resource in hand, but we've recently completed three-dimensional geophysical study. We've identified a very large resistivity and conductivity anomaly. We're currently drilling that. We have 3 rigs on the property. Those results will hopefully be coming out sometime in March. We're very excited because we can see that we can transform this from already a very large resource into something that's going to put it in the class of the supergiant porphyries of this part of the Andes. So we're hoping that many of you who can't come by and see us here at the booth will be able to watch this video and be as excited about your investment in this company. And if you're not invested, invest.